Hello Nerds, welcome back. Today I want to talk a little bit about the wishlist on NIKKE because someone messaged me yesterday that left a comment in YouTube and they were like, "Hey Sefhi, you are missing Nayuta on the wishlist," and I was like, "There is no way I'm missing Nayuta." No, I am missing. I'm missing a few characters. So I wanted to make an updated wishlist guide because we made one before the half anniversary, which obviously things have changed with the new characters. And I do want to go manufacturer by manufacturer and change the way we do it because it feels like low priorities B1s, B2s, B3s doesn't matter as much. It's just useful characters or useless ones. NIKKE has way too many characters that are not great. So I want to go and make a new video, a new Yapping tier list where we go manufacturer by manufacturer and talk about this. Also a reminder that we have a new guess the assets mini game in here, boys. Is that Signal? Who is that? That should have to be Signal. No, some bullshit. Yeah, there we go. That has to be Modernia. There we go. Easy. But you guys have a new Guess the Assets game in there if you want to check it out. And let's jump directly into this. I'm going to be categorizing things into probably 4 different categories, which is going to be priority, great units. You could also go for MLB or more if you like them. 1 copy, and XD characters. Great characters. You could go for priority. This is up to you which ones you want to go for. Priority, I'm going to be limiting it to 5 characters for the wish list in order to, work. And then a lot of the 1 copy characters, honestly, are almost skips, but it's fine. Let's start with Tetra directly, and we can go one by one, manufacturer by manufacturer. Starting with Tetra, there are a few characters in here, or actually, Tetra has the most amount of characters that will be going into the XD tier, because they are not great. When it comes to Yulha and Jan, they have 0 usage. Yulha used to be used on the Snow White team compositions for the OG Snow White, not for the new one. But even there are better options right now. So Yulha has stopped seeing usage nowadays. Like there is barely any situation where you would use her unless you have her fully invested from those teams. I don't know where she is. I'm blind, guys. Well, whatever Yulha is, she has no usage right now. Jan never had usage, and well, unless she gets a treasure, things will not change anytime soon. Now, Volume is a 1 copy character for the cooldown reduction. You don't even need to invest in her. I'm pretty sure my Volume, even to this day, is she even overloaded? She's a blue doll, non-overloaded, 444. She's a good character. You don't need heavy investment into her, and she will do her work fine, which is just providing CDR on the situations where you need it, right? So that's that. Now we go into Viper. So I'm gonna put Viper in great, but it's only great if you build her treasure. If you don't build her treasure, she goes back to 1 copy, even to XD, right? And actually, you cannot even pull for Viper. Oh, can you pull for Viper? No, you can pull Viper. I don't remember what characters you cannot pull for, so I might be confusing some. Leave a comment, obviously, down below with whatever I do miss. Velvet can go into great as well. It's a good character. You could go for MLB. I would not prioritize her, and she, just like Viper, can be a 1 copy unit and works fine. I think IMLB mine for the background, but that's about it. Yeah, score 1. Because she's pretty hot, right? She's pretty hot and the background is nice, but you don't really need her at MLB. But she is a great unit for wind content. Sugar, I'm gonna be honest, it goes into XD. Even as someone who likes Sugar quite a bit, alright? I'm waiting for my summer Sugar for 3 years already, and I did overload her. And I think she has, what, like a few elemental lines, yeah. I actually did reroll her a little bit, not a lot of rocks, obviously, but she has, like, basic lines, and I can use her on iron weak rates, but obviously it's trolling using her. Then we go into Soda. For now, I'm gonna put her on priority because I'm making this video, just joloing it right now. I don't have like a set list in mind. For now, I'm gonna put her on priority. For the shotgun team, still one of the best characters you can run, and still a staple for iron content. Again, she might be going into great depending on how many characters we end up putting on priority, because there can only be 5 characters in there. Soda, useless unit, has never been used. Sakura, even with the cooldown reduction, not great, not even for the parts of for anything. Rupi and Sakura are both limited, so we cannot talk about them. Rupi goes into the XD, and Rumani goes into the XD. There is so many characters that are useless. Now, Ro, she's a character that the copy works, but at the moment is one of the best ones in Tetra, so you could be going for either great or priority. But again, a lot of these cooldown reduction characters, you don't really need dupes, even if they scale better. Any character in the game released on the last 1.5 to 2 years scales better with dupes because they keep going with final attack modifiers, with casters, moves, etc. It doesn't matter unless you're a competitive player. If you're a competitive player, you have to MLB everything in the game, alright? So you should not even be asking if you're a competitive player. Rosanna is an XD character, never been used outside of PvP. Rey is a free unit, we don't talk about her. Mint and Prika, I'm gonna be putting them on priority, but again, we'll see if they go down to grade or not later, depending on how many characters we have, because the idols are strong. Now, you could be going for just like an MLB, because characters that are not DPS, usually, you will benefit a little bit less than focusing on pure DPS characters. So I can see the idols being on grade rather than priority. We'll see in a little bit. Then we have Novel, another XD character that I hope she gets a treasure son on an alt. I love her. Noise can go here into the XD category. Nor, guys, it's almost an XD. Like, she's seen no usage over the last year almost. It's crazy. I hope she gets a treasure. The leaks were pointing towards a Tia treasure. So maybe Tia Naga now, and on the next batch, Noran Blanc. That would be pretty nice. Then we have Nero, another XD character. Moran, I'm gonna be putting both of them here for a little bit, and we'll see if they go into priority. Moran is the second best B1 in the game, with the best one being Anis, and then Moran, and then Little Mermaid. Fantastic character if you work on her treasure, right? It's stupid how much damage reduction she's providing and how many mechanics you can skip with her. Mint will be going here as well with Prika. They are both great characters. We'll see if we move them up later or not. Milk, Funny Milk, really good DPS only if you manual her. And that is the biggest pain point she has, and why most people don't use her. It's because no one wants to manual her. Or, okay. The majority of people don't want to manual her. It's usually just tryhards. And tryhards will do whatever they want, but the majority of casual players don't like manualing characters. Milk goes into the XD category, not a great character. Ludmilla follows her. Leona, even to this day, follows her. Is no longer a character we've barely seen at all, because there are so many good alternatives for the shotgun team nowadays that Leona just completely disappeared from the meta. OG Mary can directly go into the bottom category because she's not a great character. Prima, I'm gonna be honest, both Prima and Nexia, even if you work on their treasures, I don't think they are great characters. Like, you can get their treasures, and sure, they will work. I just don't think they are good units. So if you like their treasures, go for it. I would not bother, right? I would not bother. Dola goes down once again. Crust, you could get a copy, but it's an amount of copium that is not even normal. Clay and Bay will be going down. Breedy can go here. Okay, we will change this a little bit for in a second, but for now it's fine to leave Crust in here. Crust is a character that at least can get some usage thanks to her buffs, because she can be used in multiple teams, and also not only can be used in multiple teams, but you can just use her for her burst. Right, like if you have her burst, you can just use it for her attack damage. I think it's a 25 at max level, if I remember correctly, which is already good. And she can find a place on distribute and sustain damage teams depending on how you are using her. It's kind of copium, but I see a copy can help you. Biscuit outside of PvP, we don't talk about her. Cocoa, another useless character. Blank, a copy with the other banish is more than enough. Bay goes down. Arya goes down. My god, Tetra has a bunch of useless characters, guys. And then we have the Arc Ranger, which is still not available, but we're gonna be putting her here, and then we'll see which ones we give priority to. Anis Star, which is an over-spec, so we cannot really put her in here, but if we're talking about over-spec characters later, she's priority, but she's not an over-spec unit. And then we have Aid, Bunny Aid, normal Aid can go down, Alice can go down, and then this has limited units. So Alice, now we can put characters on top. Still to this day, as much as I want to hate her, one of the best DPSs, you could still be going for dupes on her. You could still be going for dupes on both Milk and Breedy if you want to focus on DPSs. If you want to focus on supports instead, you could be going for any of the characters below, be it your Mint Prika, be it your Moron, be it your Velvet, or your Viper for her treasure. I don't like the Viper treasure. I never really build her. I think it's a nice background. I think it's a nice waifu. But outside of Water Weak raids, you don't see it. And even on Water Weak raids, it's hard to see the Viper treasure. It's been a while since we saw it, honestly. As you guys can see, even on Water raids, like, it's literally once in a while usage, and that's it. When there were no other options. And then at the beginning of the game, she was not even used either. So I would not really recommend it. Like, I don't think it's a great character. You don't see her in Tower. You don't see her in solo raid. You don't see her in junior raid. You can build her just like Exia and Frima, but at this point in time, I would not go for it. I would rather focus on these characters here that can deal at least a lot more damage. But again, you can go for her. I'm not saying she's an awful character. She's way better than the majority of units in here on the same tier, right? So for Tetra specifically, this is what I would be doing currently. If you already have dupes on these characters, it's fine. You can switch to something else. I think the biggest problem with Tetra is that a lot of these damage dealers are not great, so I would rather focus on the supports myself, because these supports have usage everywhere, right? And I even would do this. These supports have usage everywhere, while the girls here are harder to, to justify using or investing into. Now, Alice, the reason I'm moving her to great instead of priority is because you can get a lot of copies for free thanks to the bonus recruit system. So if you have the bonus recruit system here on top on the normal banner, you can get a bunch of copies of Alice for free, and she's still the best one to get, by the way. Because if we go here to this guy, right now the characters you can get with the bonus recruit system are going to be Alice, Litter, Tia, Helm, and Naga. You want to be grabbing enough Helms for the treasure. We will see if Tia is worth grabbing with the treasure or not. And then you want to just be focusing on getting Alice's copies, right? Because she is a great DPS early on for new players, just to take advantage of that. So for now, I think it's a little bit less priority than the supports. You could also instead just move Soda out and Alice in, and this way you can have 5 characters you will be using in a lot of content, right? Regardless of element type even. And this would be like a nice wish list for Tetra currently. So that is for Tetra. I think that is going to be my final solution for Tetra. Let's move into the next one, which is going to be Miselis. When it comes to Miselis, there is less characters, so, less things to jump about and a lot less useless, quote-unquote. Okay, to be fair, I feel the problem with NIKKE is that there is still way too many units that are just useless, like that have no usage at all. Oh, fuck me, I just removed everything. So, Prio, great, 1 copy, and then we'll go again into XT, right? There you go. So, back to this, I think that the biggest problem with Miselis is that there is just not enough characters that are worth prioritizing and going for multiple dupes, right? Like, for example, Junie is a character that never saw any usage. Her kit is not even bad. If she gets a treasure, I can see Junie being decent, because her kit is not bad. It's not awful, like, in contrast to other characters. It's simply that the modifiers are not great enough. But if they change that, if they add a couple extra buffs, she could actually become a really good unit, honestly, because charge speed buffers are always nice. So Junie goes into the XD category. Trina will, after Trina, Trani will follow her pretty close, with Trina being able to grab a copy. The only reason you want a copy of Trina is if you're building a Scarlet. So Trina is a buffer that will work with assault rifles that are electric, and there is only 2 of them really that you want to be buffing, which is going to be Scarlet and Jill. Moran, I mean, they can work together, but it's kind of an XD situation. I don't think you would ever really be buffing Moran as a DPS. It can be done, but it's just Scarlet and Jill for the most part. So only if you are working on that team composition, you will be getting her. If not, not really needed. When it comes to Snowcrane, goes directly down. When it comes to Tia, at the moment, is not a good unit. This might change next month whenever we get the treasures, and if so, the website guide will be updated accordingly. But for this video, Tia has become a completely useless character that we do not see anywhere, right? Toph can go into priority still for the shotgun team, one of the best raid characters we've seen, honestly, and her treasure just makes her better. Quincy, okay, I'm gonna put her on great, but might be going into priority. It's a great water damage dealer that can be used for not only water content, but distribute damage content, if I remember correctly, and she's a pretty good DPS. She's a solid DPS for that. In contrast to newer DPSs, she falls behind, obviously, but she's on a similar situation to Ain or to the Black Ranger, right? Those characters that are great, they have their niche, and you can't use them. So I'm gonna put her in there. Seeing Quincy and Guilty are all the Liberation characters, so you cannot get dupes in there. Neon, Vision Eye, obviously it's an over-spec character, so cannot be here. Naga can be going into a 1 copy for now. Mori is a free unit, we cannot get her. Mihara is over-spec as well. So Maxwell, I'm gonna put on 1 copy for now. We'll see if we do want to be going higher or not. Same for Mana, and we'll talk about why on a second. So Maxwell is a unit that still to this day is a great buffer if you build her as a buffer, and can still be used as a DPS if you bother with that. It's a great unit, but you don't really need to be going for dupes on her, because it's attack and charge speed. This is just gonna be basic, right? It doesn't matter if you are getting more dupes or not. If you are going for dupes, is to build her as a DPS rather than a support. But as a support character, she was with 1 copy. Mana, it's a bit more copium, because even though I'm a sim for my green girls, she hasn't seen that much usage. So this is a character that can heal, can revive, can provide a charge speed buff to one character with the lowest charge speed time, if I remember correctly. The lowest or the fastest? I don't remember. But she loses a bunch, a big chunk of her kit when she dies or when she revives someone. So it's a character that the kit sounds good, but the percentage numbers are not great. And that is a big problem with a lot of characters in NIKKE, where the kit doesn't sound bad, but then you look at the actual usage, right? And it's like, when she was released, 2 raids it was used, and then 1 more here for wind, and then never really again on this raid she's being used, obviously. But outside of solo raid, you don't really see her. A copy is more than enough. She does benefit from dupes, but I would not bother going for dupes on Mana personally. If we keep going here, Litter is either stupid that this is still a priority character. And day 1 Grandma Bob the Builder is the only day 1 character to this day that if you go into her character page, Litter, the only day 1 character that actually sees usage on absolutely every single game mode to this day. Like, it's the only character. The only close thing, it will be Alice, and Alice is only for fire raids. She's no longer used on every single raid, right? Like it used to be, because we have characters for everything. But this is the only day 1 character with still this much usage into the game, not only for solo raid, but for union raid, for tower. You can use her for anything. So it's still worth grabbing a few dupes of the grandma. If she gets a treasure, it's only gonna become stronger, honestly. Now, moving forward, we can go into Kilo. Was Kilo a free character? Okay, I don't remember. Do let me know in the comments. I think Kilo is a free character. You cannot pull for him, but it's fine. Laplace, Julia, Jackal. Jackal and Julia are useless characters. They are not great. Let me remove Kilo. I'm pretty sure it was a free character. Jackal and Julia are not great units. Julia with her treasure is not a bad upgrade. It does work. You can put her on a team, for example, with the maids for more crit, and she will actually perform. But still, it's a lot of investment just to be able to, you know, be a team 4, team 5 character for solo raid. On union raid, you will never see her. So sadly, as much as I do like her and I would love she gets an upgrader like a treasure plus or whatever, I would not really recommend going for it. If you like her treasure, however, you can go for that. Laplace is a character that, same thing. As someone who's been using her since day 1, I don't think I would recommend Laplace outside of tower, and that's why I'm putting a copy. You could be going for the MLB, or sorry, for the LB2, so 2 extra copies for the treasure instead, so not really 1 copy, but I would not put her on grade at the same level as Quincy. But just so you guys understand, you can work on her treasure. I'll put her here, and then we'll see if we need to change her. Huapi and Jingning are all both Chinese characters, can put her in there. Guilty, can't pull for her. Epinel, there is 1 Japanese bro who loves her, but, you know, not a great unit. Same for Elec. Ain can go almost into great, honestly. I would rather put Drake on great than put Laplace. I'm gonna be 100% as well. Drake is a unit that is a staple also on raids for the shotgun team. It's not as necessary or mandatory as Tove, because Tove is the one making shotgun teams work, actually. But Drake as a support has become the second staple unit on this team by far. You could put something else if you don't have her, obviously, like even a Nord could work in those situations. But she is the second best character for the shotgun teams in order to just make it stronger. Not as a DPS herself. For fire content, she can be a DPS. Outside of that, it's just a buffer for the shotgun team. Flora, useless character. Crow, I think I don't need to explain why Crow is so bad. Senti might be good after the upgrade. But we don't have the upgrade yet. So at the moment, she's a character that is worthless to use or to run on your teams outside of the burst generation or outside PvP. But I don't touch about PvP. You all guys know I only talk about PvE on this channel. When it comes to Admi, it's a character that can be used for cope early on, or if you're a new player and have nothing else, for the reload speed buffs she provides. And we use her for that reason early on in the game, you know, for the first few months. We were running Admi because the reload speed is pretty nice on burst. So she can be used, but I wouldn't even recommend going for a copy just for that reason. If you're a new player and you get her, that's fine, but I would not go for it. Now, we need 5 characters in priority in order for the wishlist to actually work. So what I'm going to be putting is these 3 characters in here because at the moment there is not that many units that I would recommend. Like I said earlier, Miselis has way less characters. Now, Mihara obviously would be going into priority, but she's an over-spec character, so you don't put her on this wishlist. You put her on the Pilgrim / over-spec wishlist, right? So that is for the Miselis list, and then we can move into Elysion, and then we can move into the Pilgrim. So priority, great. Once again, I should probably remove this, stop resetting the tier names later, no? 1 copy, and then our XD tier once again. So let's go into Elysion. Same situation as Miselis, but there are way better alternatives in here that clearly are strong and deserve the priority and a bunch of great units in contrast to the other manufacturers, or at least in contrast to Miselis. Bestie, tactical upgrade, is a great character. I would go for a copy, however, I would not really go for a lot of dupes on her. She has use on specific bosses for true damage. I like her, I think she's strong. Until I reroll my diesel, I've been using her. But I don't think she is that great outside of those specific bosses for true damage. And even on those bosses, you can't run other characters. A lot of people were running Cs with just Mihara and Rappi instead, right? So for now, putting 1 copy, we'll see if we want to be going up or not. But I think it's fine in there. Old Bestie can go directly into the Copium tier because they are not great. Same for Sora. Same for Solene. Sui is actually a great character. I don't know if I want to recommend going for her treasure or not because she is competing with Miranda for a really competitive spot on those team compositions. I like her. I did build her. I'm going to be using her over Miranda because, well, I just like Sui more, like way more than I do Miranda. I would recommend going for a treasure, but no more dupes afterwards. I don't think it's necessary. Signal has seen 0 usage in the game, literally 0 usage. I'm surprised she has a skin. Like, I'm actually surprised Signal has a skin, considering she's one of the most useless characters. Have we even seen her on the story at all? She has like one of these Valentine's skin, but that's about it. I don't know. I know we have Romeo on the community who really likes Signal, but outside of that, is there anyone who uses her? Alright, Solene, Frost Ticket, the Christmas character is one of the best cooldown reduction characters in the game. It's literally only the cooldown reduction. You don't need to focus on anything else. If you decide to build her and pull for her, you put the purple doll, do not level it up, you don't even need gear, it doesn't matter, quick equip, and you just focus on her skill 1, nothing else. You just want this cooldown versus skill, that's the only thing. The CDR is the only thing we care about, right? Query, hopefully she gets a treasure, for now goes to the Copium tier. Maid Private, I used to recommend her quite a bit. She was a decent character, she was a pretty nice DPS for shotgun teams. Not anymore. Not anymore. I love her, but I would just rather recommend people prioritize Private because she has become, base Private, thanks to her treasure, has become the best, probably, burst 3 buffer in the game. Like, by far. It's stupid how strong she is. So, if you guys can get multiple copies, I would recommend it. Also, nice water DPS herself. Polly goes down. Phantom, you could go for 1 copy, but it's a useless character. I might move her down later. Miranda, same situation as Sui. You want to be getting them for the treasure. Both of them are pretty good characters. Maid, Romantic Maid, Master Romantic Maid is still one of the best B2s in the game. One of the highest attack buffs you can get. A lot of people use her without Mast. So you can prioritize getting dupes on your Mast rather than your Anchor, because it's a better character. Anchor is great for a few bosses like Black Snake or bosses where you need that storage mechanic, right? That she has, just like Miss Marcy. But still, Mast is a lot stronger. I would recommend prioritizing her over Anchor. Now, when it comes to Mast, the OG version herself is a useless unit at the moment. Same for Miss Marcy. As much as I love her, I hope the summer version is good. OG Maiden is only for PvP. Lavelle, it's a code character just like Phantom. Lavelle could be a good character if we get other CDR units or a CDR that can re-enter. I hope at some point we do get a good CDR that re-enters B1. Because there is a few B1 characters that, in my opinion, could see usage. Now, their utility is not that great at the moment. But I truly believe they could see more usage if we get those re-enters. Because you have characters like your Tove, your Sui, your Miranda, your Lavelle, your Emma, that could re-enter B1 and have a lot more utility. Even Exia and Frima could be going for that. Even Mary to cope a little bit, no? But there's a bunch of characters that could benefit from a re-enter CDR character B1, but it's a lot to ask from Shift Up. Okay, I'm gonna put her on copy. Okay, I'm gonna put her on one copy because I'm coping a lot, same as a few characters in here we'll talk about now, but he's not a great character at the moment. Helm, we can put her in priority for now. This also, just like Parvati, one of the best B3 buffers in the game. She has been dethroned, however, and I will be moving her down one tier on the tier list after the summer update. But she is still strong. It's undeniable that, you know, the heals plus the burst generation plus the buffs themselves is a great character. Then we go into Guillotine. The OG version is not great. The Winter version, I mean, can be used, but not that much. When it comes to Enwa and Emma, I'm gonna put them in one copy, but it's, again, this one copy category could be called Copium rather than anything, and it will be still the same thing. OG Emma and Enwa are not great characters. The new tactical upgrade girls, a copy can be used for raids, but they have barely seen any usage. Like if I go into like Enwa and Emma, they haven't seen that much usage. Like we've seen them in the raid they were released for Sis, in one more raid for Altaism, which was Fire, and we did not even see them in Crystal Chamber. So it's more of a go than anything else. Saying one copy, you know, it's kind of like wasting resources almost on those characters at this point. That's what I said earlier, that, you know, this one copy can be called Copium, but it's up to you guys and what you want to be pulling for. Honestly, I could be moving K down, leaving the duo in here in case you need them for tower, or you've been unlucky, or, you know, you maybe just got them pulling on normal banners. You can't use them, but they're not great. EH, bro, this is the Copium category, literally. EH, I am a sim for green girls, but at the moment she's not great. Same situation as Phantom, same situation as K, and even both Enwa and Emma tactical upgrade. They can work, but it's a Copium pick rather than anything. An actual one copy character that I would recommend is Delta, because you can run her with right now with Anis, with Cindy, with Crone, all good characters that get used, and she can perform well and give you some nice buff and heals to proc Crone skill as well. Diggler Wife is a great CDR character. We'll see if I want to put her higher or not on a second. The new Breed, she's limited, so I cannot recommend her because we can't pull for her. OG Breed is useless. The new Arcana is also pretty good for the shotgun tips and has become a staple character. The new Arcana, sorry, the OG Arcana is only good if you plan on building Isabel. If you are not building Isabel, she is literally a useless character and a brick. You don't need to build her. But if you like Isabel and you have her wedding skin, because my god, she looks fine, then it's a character you can use for raids and has been used on the Electric Week raids, so one copy is more than enough. And then we go into Anchor, which we could be putting as well in here. Now, for this list, like I said earlier, also D goes down directly because it's a useless unit. For this list, like I said earlier, there are a few characters you could be going for that are really good. You could be going for Anchor dupes if you like her. You could be going for more Dickler Wife dupes if you like her. You could be going for the new Arcana as well. It heavily depends on what you're doing and what you want for the priority. These four characters are the highest priority to be getting extra dupes for, and even you could be saying that, you know, you don't need more than a copy on Soling. Like, she's priority in the sense of getting a copy because how useful she is, but you will remove her after you grab one copy. So I'm gonna put her in here so you guys understand that it's great you get one as early as possible, but you don't need more than a copy. I didn't pull for, I think I just stick to the one copy for her now, and that was it. I didn't put any gear or anything. Yeah, I got one copy only myself right there. Actually, one more extra that we got randomly, and then never again because I don't need more dupes. So after you grab your initial base character, your Saline, you could be switching to instead of more Anchor dupes, and you could be switching to, for example, either more Bestie if you want her for Tower, or either any of the Treasure Girls, or just Arcana or Declare Wife, right? Anything you like there, anything here can go into the priority list and will work fine. And then lastly, we can go into everyone's favorite, which is going to be the Pilgrim category. So Pilgrims and over-specs as well have the best characters in the game. There are way too many characters in here that, you know, you need multiple copies and you can prioritize. So I'm gonna be talking on general like lines here. because a bunch of units are hard to put on priority or grade, and there's gonna be a lot of bias. So, new Snow White, one of the strongest characters in the game, best generation, while still providing an AoE clear that no other character can match. It's an easy pick to put on priority, really easy pick, right? We keep moving. OG Snow White. Okay, I am biased 100%. I never built my Snow White. I don't care about her. The new one I like. OG one I don't care. I don't care about her. So I never really built her. I do prefer this one by far. You know, I'm a gunner, so obviously this one was easier to pick up and build. When it comes to the OG Snow White, you can still build a copy and use her for Iron Raid and Iron Weak content, and she is still one of the hardest hitting characters there, but you need to fully invest into her and build a team around her still, so it's up to you. She's on the same situation as Scarlet and the same situation as Isabel, characters that have one specific team composition for their elements, and that's it. And even Scarlet is more copium than one copy in my opinion. Then we have SBS, absolute bias into the priority list. I will probably move her down to great. One of the best DPSs in the game that still to this day keeps getting buffers. Somehow Shift Up keeps making more characters that can further increase her damage output. So I am an absolute simp. I'm gonna put her in great, but you know, absolute simp for her. Red Hood is still a great character for Pierce content, for Tower, for Raid, for Burst Generation. If you manual her, it's a bit more confusing for new players. So I'm not sure if I would recommend going for a lot of dupes on her or just put her as a one copy character, but she is good. OG Rapunzel and OG Snow White are both free characters, or old rather than OG, I guess. And the normal Rapunzel, however, goes into the co-op category because it's not a great character. It's a character that has decent burst generation, has decent heals, but just provides nothing to the team outside of a revive that, yeah, sure, the revive is good, but nowadays you want more utility, and there is characters that provide way better buffs in contrast to that, right? Same thing applies for Noah, not a character if we're not talking about PvP, and Rappi, our cook queen, can go into the priority list as still one of the strongest characters in the game, in 2 elements, in 2 manufacturers, in 2 birds, because she's also B1 and B3 with cooldown reduction, so fantastic character to this day, and she still keeps getting usage in most raids. Like if you go to Rappi and you check her raid usage, it's one of these characters that since she was released has, you know, barely seen any drop on her usage, like in 95, 97, 97 there too. It's a great unit, guys. You cannot go wrong getting Rappi copies. Now, Modernia. I'm almost tempted to put her in co-op at this point, but since Scarlet is here, I think it's fair to put her in one copy. But again, I just don't think they are both that great at the moment. Like, I would not really recommend pulling for them. When I say one copy is randomly grab a copy somewhere else, not pull them on your wishlist until you get a copy, because my god, some of these units would be a waste in terms of just getting, you know, dupes for the characters you have on top that are clearly better. So that's for her. When it comes to Neon, I love her and I like her more than Cindy. They are both the B3 electric units, but there is only 5 slots in the wishlist, so we will have to make some sacrifices, and Neon will be one of them. Still, both of them, I would recommend you guys go grab a few if you can. I never really bother and mine work fine. Like my Cindy is LB2, while my Neon is probably base copy. I think she's only a base copy, if I remember correctly. I'm pretty sure I only pulled one while her banner was up, and I was like, okay, surely we don't need to be pulling for more later now. Neon, yeah, base copy only. If you like them, they are great units, so you can be going for more. For me, they are both in there. When it comes to the next category, so Nayuta, a B2 is the second best B2 in the game, but there are so many good alternatives nowadays that it's really hard justifying going for her. Because at the moment, right, if you go for B2s, you have your Crown, your Nayuta, your Mas, your Mint and Prika, your Aid. You have characters like like Breathe, like Grave and Helm for specific elemental elements, or even like Velvet if you want, right? So there is so many good characters right now for B2s that it's hard to recommend Crown, Nayuta. And I'm pretty sure Nayuta will also be dropping 1 tier to T1 on the next update we do. Still a great unit, you can get multiple copies if you like her, and you are a main green. Now, next, and this might even upset myself, alright? Both Little Mermaid and Mihara go here. Mihara Bonding Chain is a fantastic character for bosses, but like I said earlier, there is only 5 slots in here, and you have to prioritize what is the best actually in the game. Little Mermaid has been dethroned, and she went from like the best B1 in the game to just quote-unquote top 3, alright? At the moment, if we're talking about Siren, she's great. And she, guys, as you guys can see, she's still used on every single solo raid, 100% usage. It's still used everywhere. But Anise is better on every single aspect. Anise has had the same impact in the game as Crown. Literally the same impact. It's characters you can prioritize and get as many dupes as you want, and they will not fall out of the meta for the next 4-5 years. And even if they do, they need to release 4 characters that are stronger than Crown and Anise Star. That's gonna take a few years at least. So easy picks, both Anise and Crown, to invest and to be going for dupes. I kind of regret going for Core 7. But it's fine, it's fine. Surely it's a safe investment, guys, and I'm not a gambling addict, right, boys? Surely. Ran goes into the co-op category, not a great character, had some use early on because she was booked, then they fixed her, and then never again we saw her, and now she's just burned to a crisp, so can't do anything. Grave, I like her, but I want to say only 1 copy is necessary. She does benefit from dupes, just like any character in this game, but Nayuta and Crown are just way better, so it's like I wouldn't prioritize Grave over those two. She does feel her own niche, which would be Pierce characters, also as a fire DPS, and also for the extra burst generation she provides. So she is all in all a great character, but I would not prioritize grabbing dupes of her. She has one of the best burst animations in the game though. Now, Dorothy is a limited character. OG Dorothy goes into the co-op category directly, no discussion. Chime was free, and then Livy will go into the wishlist right there. Now, Liberalio is a character that works as a DPS, works as a buffer, and can be used for any piece of content you're doing, regardless of element, and she will perform well. Even if you are running that or triple burst 3 on your team and she cannot buff, it's fine. She still will outperform a lot of the current characters we have in the game. It's a character that I love, one of my favorite girls in the game by far. I love her skin as well. I hope she gets more skins in the future. So a little bit biased in that regard, but it's fine. That's what I would put as priority currently for the Pilgrims. Like I said earlier, the 1 copy category is not that you have to go and grab a copy and then switch to something else. It's that characters, if you already got one, you don't need to bother. If you do get one in the future, it's completely fine. But I would not prioritize them over anything on grade or on the priority list itself. That said, everything for this bit was probably a longer one than usual. I'll try to make a shorter one next time, boys. That's it. That's everything for this video. As usual, we are live every single day. Any questions you guys might have, feel free to leave a comment down below. Good luck with your pool dinner rates, and I'll see you on the next one.